So in this, we are going to create one table over here. So where we are creating the student details table over here. Okay. So create table, table name. So this is the table name here. So where we are creating the student number, student name, branch over here, mobile, email, address 1, address 2, address 3. Next it is the country over here, state, city, next it is the pin code. Okay. So next it is the joining date over here. So for the student number, it is related to the number data type. So where we have mentioned the number data type. Again, student name. So where we have mentioned like it's a varchar 2 over here. Again, branch, it is a varchar 2. So variable as well as the character over here. So mobile, it is related to the number. So where we are mentioning the number data type over here. Again, email. So where we are mentioning varchar 2. Address also we are mentioning varchar 2. So up to the zip, you are mentioning the varchar 2 over here. So joining date, it is a date data type over here. Okay, so we create this table over here. Okay, after creating this table, so you can able to see this. So this is different and this is different. Okay, so first we'll create this table. So with the same table, we will make the changes. Create student table. So you can able to see the format over here. So before using the semicolon here, we should not use the comma over here. For the last of every ending row, you can able to see the commas over here. Whereas in the last one, we are not using the commas. If you are going to use the comma over here, so you can just see whether it is creating a table or not. Control enter. So what happens here, it shows it is throwing an error like it is an invalid identifier. We should not use the comma before the semicolon. So the table has been created. Okay. XX underscore student underscore details table has been created. Okay. So coming into the data dictionary. So you can able to see this. So like these are called as the data dictionaries over here. We can also tell like it is a system catalog over here. So why we are telling as a system catalog? So as I told, database objects. What are the database of anything we create? Those will be saved into the database, right? So it can be a table or a view or a synonym, anything it can be. Okay, I want to find out what all the data objects, the database objects are there, where we are using this data dictionaries. We will call it as the data dictionaries over here. So where we are mentioned, we are having three types data dictionaries over here, like DB underscore objects over here. So it is related to the database objects. DB underscore objects. So all underscore objects. Next user underscore objects over here. So when you're using this particular data dictionaries, like select star from DBA underscore objects, that means you can able to find all the database objects over here. So not only table, whatever we create, it can be a view or a synonym, anything it can be. You can use it. This is called as the data dictionaries in general. Okay. So when I'm using this data dictionaries like select star from DBA underscore objects over here. So you can able to find. I'll just execute this. So select star from the DBA underscore objects over here. So you can able to see the owner. So not only our user, all the user, whoever has been created, the owner over here. So it is assist over here, and you can able to find the object name over here. So here you can able to find the object type. So what is the table or index or a view, anything it can be, entire database objects, what all we are having in our system, we can able to find when we're using this data dictionaries over here. Okay. So another thing we are having, another data dictionary like object underscore name and object underscore type. Suppose it is object underscore name. As I told, under DBA object, we are creating a table. Not only table or view, anything it can be, right? Database object. So I created one table. So I want to find out using my data dictionaries whether I have that particular table into my database or not. So where we are using this object underscore name over here. So where you're going to mention, so whether it's a table or a view or a synonym or a sequence that you're going to mention here. So where we are using this object underscore name over here. Sorry, object underscore name, it is a name, whatever you are mentioned. So sorry. So object underscore type, under the object underscore type only you are going to mention whether it is a table or a view or a synonym, anything. So here you can able to see in the data dictionaries. So select star from db underscore objects where object underscore type. So what is the type over here? So what is the object type here? So whether it is a table, synonym, sequence or index, anything, so that you can mention here again, and you're extending your condition over here and object underscore name. So what is the object underscore name? I don't, if I'm going to use this data dictionaries, the first data dictionaries, it is showing me entirely how to find out. I'm having many multiple records over here. If you're going to right click and if you're going to use this count records over here, so there we are, I'm having 4 lakhs records over here. So how to find out my particular table? I created one table. Now I created one student table over there, right? So how to find my student table, whether it is there in my database or not? So where we are writing the condition over here. Okay, that's why we are writing the condition here. So where means it is a where clause, where you are writing the condition like object underscore type, it is table over here, and object underscore name. So what is the name here? So already we created this table. So how we created with a table like xx underscore student details over here, that you're going to mention here. Okay, now execute. So you can able to see. So we have created. So you, as I told, not only in apps user, so in Scott user also they created the same table over here. So when we are using this dba underscore objects here, so this is the data dictionaries. So now we created. So you can able to see this particular the apps over here. The owner is apps, object name, and you can able to see the object type over here. The first record here, table, and created when it has been created. Last DDL time, timestamp. You can able to see the timestamp over here. So it gives us this particular record. When we are using this data dictionaries like select star from db underscore object where object underscore type. So now we create a table, we are writing as a object type as table. If you're creating a view, that you're going to mention a view over here, and object underscore type name, you're going to mention that view name. Okay. So each and everything, whatever you're going to create, you're going to use this data dictionaries and you're going to check. So in upcoming for each topic, we'll be using this data dictionaries. So that time, if you don't understand, you should understand now. Okay. So what do you mean by this DBA objects and what do you mean by this where condition? According to the where condition, what is this object underscore type and what is this object underscore name over here? Okay. So next we are having like all underscore users over here, all underscore objects and user underscore objects here. That also you can able to see the difference, how it is, how this data dictionaries are executing here. So where we are using another data dictionaries like all underscore objects over here. So select star from all underscore objects. So where I'm mentioning like where condition, same condition I'm writing here. Object underscore type, it is a table, and object underscore name, it is the XX student underscore details here. So control enter. So what happens here? It is giving me the same records or not? When we are using like select star from db underscore objects also, we are getting the same records, and when we are using this select star from all objects also, you are getting the same records over here, right? Same 2 records we are getting, no difference there. So now coming into the select star from user underscore objects over here. So you can able to see it is user underscore objects here. So where you are writing condition, same condition, object underscore type is equals to table and object underscore name is equals to the table name over here. So now what happens here when you're using this user underscore objects, it will show only the database objects, whatever the user has been created. So you can able to see it is not showing any owner name or anything like that. User means we only the user, whoever has been created the table. So it will show only their details over here when we are using this data dictionaries like user underscore objects here. So where same condition only, where object underscore type is equals to table and object underscore name is equals to the table name over here. So now what happens here? It shows as the object name. It is also showing as the object type over here created and last DDL time over here. But it is not showing any owner. So when we are using it like all underscore objects here, it is showing one extra column like it is the owner over here. So that's the difference between this two data dictionaries here, right? Any doubts in this up to this? I am very fast, or you cannot able to understand like somewhere?
Yeah.
Yes, it is clear, right?
Can you?
Using, yes, yes,
Yeah, somewhat fast, madam.
somewhat fast. Okay, you should tell no. How do I know?
Yeah.
Okay. So have you understood this data dictionaries over here? So how we are using this data dictionary? So what is the use of the data dictionaries over here? First, so select star from db underscore objects here. So when you are selecting this, what happens? You are getting entire list where you can able to see entire whatever the database has been created. So database are those, these are the database here. So these are the database. These are the database objects. Whatever has been created. It is not only one table or one view, multiple tables. So this is the practice in this particular SQL developer we are doing. Students are doing the practice over here. So here you can able to find multiple tables, multiple. Same way in real time also, you can able to find multiple tables, multiple views, multiple synonyms or procedures, functions, everything. Okay. So where
But
we
by
are,
default, it will be there, madam, in
by,
SQL itself, Oracle SQL itself.
yeah, it will be there. Why? Because we are using the connection over here. So we are connecting to the Oracle server. So we are getting this tables here.
Okay. Okay.
But if you are using some other, for example, if you are using some other SQL developer, that means in TrueNet, we will download one software. The same software, if you are not using in this remote, we are having that option also. If you download there means you cannot able to find these examples in that particular SQL developer. Okay, in this server only you can able to find some examples which is be related to our real-time examples over here. Okay. So where we are connecting to our Oracle database. So automatically you can able to see and all tables, views, everything over here. So using this data dictionaries. Again, this under the data dictionaries, I want to specify the condition. So where I'm writing object underscore name, where it is the table name, what type of table. Table means what is the name of the particular table, what are you created, so that you're going to use here. Object type, it is a procedure, function, table, view, synonym, sequence, anything. So that is a type you are going to mention here in the where condition. So according to that, this will work, DBA objects. So coming into the all underscore objects, this is also much similar to this DBA objects only. It is giving you, both are giving you same records only, no changes in the records. So where it is not, it is showing all the records like the owner over here. So where you can able to see. So if you can able to see the difference over here when you're using this all underscore objects here. So what happens in this case? The same table name, any other owner has been using, any other like apps who were any other owner like Scott apps, and we are having this HR over here. So anybody has been using the same table. So I can able to, I want that particular list over here. So where we are using this all underscore objects here. I don't want this all underscore object. I want only my table, what I created. So we are using under user underscore objects here. So where object underscore type is table and object underscore name, it is the particular table name over here. So you can able to see that you can able to get that record here, right? So next we are having next data dictionaries, like it is the table over here. So you can able to see this base tables for the table names here. So in that we are having like it is all underscore tables and user underscore tables here. So when we are mentioning like all underscore tables here, so what happens, you can just observe this particular data dictionaries, how it will consider. So select star from all underscore tables where table name is equals to xx underscore student underscore details over here. So what happens here? Again, you're not writing that condition. You're not writing the object type or object name. When we are using under user underscore objects, there only we are going to mention like condition, object underscore type and object underscore name. When you are using this data dictionaries like all underscore tables here and table name you are giving, that means whoever in the particular in the data dictionary, in the database, we are having a data object like tables. We are having any name, table name like this particular. Not only one user, we are having another user like Scott, HR, like that, who and all has been created with the same name. So where you are writing the where condition over here, like table underscore name. So now you are getting the records over here. So this previously what records we got. So either you can use this data dictionaries or you can use this data dictionaries. But the condition here, you cannot use that object name over here. If you want, if you're going to use this object name here, you just so where you're using object underscore name here. So what happens here? It is throwing an error like it is the invalid identifier. That condition you cannot give here. If you're using that object underscore name, you should use under your user underscore objects only. Right? So coming into the user underscore tables, this is another data dictionaries here. So when we're using this user underscore tables or user underscore tables, where table underscore name is equals to xx underscore student details over here. So in this, you can able to find only one record. That means only the user. So we created only one record only, right? So one table only we created, one database only we created, one database object only we created. So you can able to find that database object here. So any doubts in this? So whenever you're using this data dictionaries, you are going to use only this particular condition over here. So in case you're not going to give any condition here, okay. So here you're selecting select star from the user underscore tables over here. So what happens here? It is going to show an entire list if you're not going to write the where condition. So here, if you want to find how much the records it is having, so it shows here like fetched 50 records over here. That means we don't have only 50 records. We are having more than 50 records. So in that case, right click here, count rows over here. So you will get the number of rows. So here we are having 2,274 records. That means a user has been created this particular table. We didn't mention the table name. We didn't mention any condition. Just you writing the data dictionaries like select star from user underscore tables. That means whatever the user. So I am the user. So whatever I created the tables, that entire list, I'm having 2,274 tables I created. Okay, under that, I created one table. So how to find the table here? So that only we are writing the where condition here. So where condition, where table underscore name is equals to so and so the table name. So control enter. So that what happens, it is showing me only one record here, right? It is clear. Any doubts anywhere? So according to the data dictionaries only, we will fetch the records here. Okay. We'll continue with our here. So these are small examples you can go through with this. So next we can go with the. So this is all about the create. Create command is nothing. We created the table over there, right? So that is the create command. So when we created the table over there, so through table, how to find or how to use the data dictionaries over here. So we used. So next command we are having like it is the alter over here. So what do you mean by this alter? Any idea about the alter here?
Modifying the data.
Modifying, yes, alter.
Modifying the data.
Yeah. So alter command, it is also a DDL command over here. It is used to change the structure of the database objects like table, views, index, synonyms, etc. Okay. So this command, so under this alter command, we can use for the following like we are used like the add, modify, rename, drop over here. We can also disable the constraint. We can also enable the constraint. We can also add the constraint over here, or we can also drop the constraint over here. So we can also modify. So where we are using this modify means we are going to change the field size and the field data type over here. So under alter command only we are going to use. So we cannot use it like modify directly. Through alter only we are using this. So previously we created a table. So you will be receiving a message like created table, table name over there. Whereas when we're using under alter command, you will not get a message like you are added one particular column or you modified a particular column, you will get a message like table altered. That's all. So what is the changes according to the syntax? If you're using, you modified one particular column name, okay, but you will not get any message like modified, your table has been modified. Instead of that, you will get the message like table altered. Through alter only we are making the changes over here, right? So in this we are mentioning only 4 commands like alter, modify, rename, drop. But you can use this under alter also, you can use it under your constraints over here. So under constraints where we are going to rename the constraints, where I want to disable the constraint, enable the constraint, drop the constraint, add the constraints over here, that also you can use through alter commands over here. So first command we are having like it is the add over here. So add, what do you mean by this add here? So it is used to add a new columns to the existing table here. Okay. So where we are adding a column to the existing table. So we are having the syntax here. So first syntax is where we are adding a single column. I want to add a single column. So we are using the command like alter table name, add the column name, data type and size for a single column. I want to add multiple columns over there. So where I'm using the column name, alter table name, add column name 1, data type size, again column name 1, column name 2, data type and size over here. So these are the syntax we are going to follow when we want to add the columns into our table. So in our student table, we are having some columns over there, right? So how to find the student table? What are the columns we are having? How to find out? We created the table. How to find out?
Select star from
Yes.
Description.
Description. Okay. Description, the table name you are going to mention. Another method.
Shift F4.
This is one method. So where
select
we are
star from
select star from, that is one method. Another method is where you're going to shift F4. You will get the column name, right? Shift F4. If you're going to use the shortcut Shift F4, you can able to find the column names over here. Same records only. So here we are having 13 columns here. Okay. So I want to add one column over here. So we'll add one column. We'll add a column like address. Can we add the column like address? Address 4, I will add the column here. One column I'm going to add in this particular table. Okay. So where we are using the syntax over here, alter table name, next add column name 1. So after the syntax I will use. So it is the alter table. So our table name, this is our table name. So table name we are going to enter. So according to the syntax only we are going to follow. So add. So what is the column we are going to add? It is the address 4 we are going to mention. So what is the data type? It is a varchar 2, where we are giving the size as 20 over here. So control enter. So what happens here? You can able to see. So table name altered. Instead of adding, so you added the particular column, but it shows as only altered only. Through altered only, we made the changes. We made the changes into the table over here. So it will show only the message like it has been altered here. Okay. So I want to add another 2 columns also. So where we are using the syntax over here. The same syntax where I'm extending one particular column over there. So alter table name, add address 5 I'm giving. So varchar 220. I can also add another according to my requirement. So I'm adding address only. Okay, address 6, where it is varchar 220. Okay. What is the difference between the syntax and what I entered? Why it is showing an error over here? Invalid alter table option. Why it's showing an error now? According to the syntax, what is the difference there? I mentioned alter table name over here. Add I mentioned.
Semicolon.
What I mentioned.
Semicolon.
Columns. Single column.
So is it? So what happens here? We should mention in brackets, parenthesis over here at the two corners here. So in that case only it will accept. Otherwise it will throw an error like invalid alter table option here. So if you are going to check the table, you can able to find we have added the two columns we are added over here and again one column. So you can able to see whatever columns I added, it will not be added in between the particular columns here. It will add at the last end only. It is not possible to add in between. It will add at the last end only. So you can able to see this. So where we are using through alter, we added the columns over here. So this is the syntax we are going to follow. Okay, so any doubts in this? Anyone having any doubts here? According to the syntax here. So alter table, table name, add the column name, data type and the size over here. In case you didn't mention the size over here. So obviously it is a varchar. Okay, varchar means we should mention the size over there. You don't mention the size. You're not mentioning the size over here. For example, you're creating with the number data type over here. Okay, I'm creating a single column. Okay, number for the number, I'm creating the number data type over here. Okay, number data I'm creating. So where I'm not mentioning the size. So whether it will allow.
Yes, it will.
It will allow. It will allow. Why it will allow in the number data type? By default, the size is up to 38. It is allowing. So according to the data type, the same thing. If I'm mentioning, if I'm adding one column like it is an address, I'm just giving the address over here. So where I'm mentioning the varchar 2 over here. So what happens in this the varchar 2 where I didn't mention the size. Okay. So control enter. So what happens here?
It won't accept.
It is not accepting. It shows as in missing less parenthesis. That means whenever you're using our varchar to our data type, we should mention the size over here. Otherwise, it will not accept. So where I'm giving the size as 1 over here. So control enter. So now what happens? It is accepting. So according to the data type over here, if you're mentioning a character data type, so now I'm mentioning character data type. So it will accept now without size. I'm mentioning the character data type without size. It will accept or not?
It will accept.
Yes, yes, it will accept.
It will accept, right? So according to our adding the columns, according to the data type, whatever you are mentioning, so it will accept. It knows, it will check the condition here. So whatever it is going to check along with the syntax here. So what is the syntax here is that alter table in what column you want to add over here. So we are adding. So what is the data type? So according to this, it is the data type and size. So when for the number, it is not necessary the size. Whereas for the character also, it is not necessary. But it will take only one character when you are mentioning this. Apart from the many characters, you cannot use this. So varchar 2, you are going to define the data type over here. According to that, you can able to use. So where we are using this add, we are adding the column and the data type over here. Okay. So next we are having next command like it is the modify over here. So these are small examples you can go through with these examples over here. Same thing only. Okay. So next we are having this modify over here. So why we are using this modify here? So it is used to modify. It is used to change or modify the structure of the existing column data type and size data type over here. So it is also used to modify the column in a table here. So where we are using this modify command. So to use this modify, we are having a syntax here. So alter table name, modify column name, data type and size over here for the single column. Again, same syntax only previous we used for this add, same syntax only, where we are using the keyword over here, that alone differs. So alter table name, modify column name 1, data type size, column name 2, data type size over here. So that means if I'm given, I'm going to modify a particular column over here. So how we can modify? For example, we created multiple columns over here. So where we created address column, we created. So how to modify, how to use this modify, whether we can, so this is my table. This is my description over here, right? So we created this address 4, 5, 6, number we created, address 8 we created. So how this modify will work now? Whether it is used to modify means it is used to modify the column in a table. We are using this modify. Again, it is also used to change or modify the structure of the existing column data types. So that means already you are having this address 4 over here. So where we are using varchar to 20. Can I modify? Can I modify into 40? So can I modify the size into 40 here? So where we are using this alter table name. So alter table name. So here instead of add, it is modify here. So modify the address you have mentioned. So only one single column I'm going to modify here. So where I'm going to modify the particular column. This is the column. So what is the column name here? So it is a address 4 over here. So already it is having the data type as varchar2. So I'm changing it to varchar2 only I'm giving. So where I'm changing the size to 10 over here. So is it possible now?
Yes, possible.
It is possible, right? So what happens here? My data type has been modified here. If you are going to check the particular table, you can able to see the data type has been changed here. So it is varchar to size is 10. So previously it was 20. I changed it to 10. So you'll be having a doubt why we can change only varchar to so we cannot change it to the number data type. So suppose the same address 4 where you are using with a number data type here. So what happens in this case here? Again, I'm modifying the particular column, address column, where I'm changing into the number data type over here. Okay, so control enter. So what happens here? It is used to change this modify. It is used to change the data type and the size over here. So now I changed. Now we can able to see this. Previously, it is address 4, it is varchar to 10 only. Now I changed it. Okay, so now we can able to change, see the difference like it is a varchar. So it is a number data type and the size it is 10 over here. So modify. So where we are using this modify command here. So you will be having another doubt also. So can I rename the column name? So that is not possible here. So modify means which we want to modify, which column we need to modify. It should identify, right, in this particular table, it should identify which column, for which column you are going to change your data type and the size over here. So in that case, you are going to use this column name only, same column name only. In case, if you are going to give the column name as 9 here, so we don't have any address 9 over here. Okay, you mentioned address 9, number 10, number data type, and the size is 10 here. So will it accept now?
No, it won't.
It will
No.
not accept. It will not accept. So modify. So you'll be having an idea. Modify means whether I
Rejecting
can rename it. No, it cannot rename it. So modify means it should identify the column. So whatever we are having in your table only, according to that column only, you can change your data type and size here. Okay. So where this first syntax we use to change only one particular column. If you want to change multiple columns, same way. So you can use the same syntax. So alter table name, modify column name 1, data type size, comma column name 2, data type size over here. So it will be altered. It will be modified here, right? So any doubts in this modification? So where we are using this modify command over here. Anybody having any doubts here? So next we are having the rename command over here. So next we are having the rename command. So what does this rename command do actually? So here only we are going to, that too we are not going to using the rename command. We are not using, apart from this alter, if you are going to rename means it will use to rename from one table to another table. Okay, when we are using this rename under the alter command, it is used to rename the column in the table. that we are so that we are using this rename command over here. So it can rename only one column at a time. I want to rename multiple columns. We cannot use. We can able to use this rename. It will be used only one time. Only one time you can able to. One time means only one particular column name you can able to rename at a time. Okay. So to use this rename, so we are having a syntax like alter table name, rename column, old column to the new column name over here. So this is the syntax. So when we're using this rename under alter, you are renaming only the column name, not the table name. So many of them, after completing SQL also, they'll be having a doubt whether to use this alter command. Through using this alter command, we should rename or we should use the rename command directly after completing our classes also. So when we are using this alter, under alter, we are using this rename means it is used to rename only this particular column only. Okay. If we are using this rename command directly, in that case, it is used to rename the table name. Okay. So in this, we are going to rename the address 4 over here. We are going to rename the address 4 over here. So according to the syntax here, it is alter table. So the table name, XX, this is the table name. Okay. Copy this sentence. Alter table name over here. So where it is the rename. Rename where the column name. What is the old column name? The old column name is the address 4. So to address 9. We are changing it to address 9 over here. So now we can able to see already we are having only address 4 here. So how does renaming is happening here? Student name address partition. Rename column. We should use this rename column here. Okay. So alter table name, rename column, and the column name to the column name you want to rename. So if you're going to check with the description, the table, you can able to find that particular column has been renamed here. So through alter you are renaming, it will rename only the columns over here, right? So any doubts in this? Anybody having any doubts in this? So next command under alter, we are having the next command over here. So we are coming across this under alter only. We are coming across this alter only. We completed add, we completed modify, we completed rename. So we'll go to the drop over here. So last command under alter, it is the drop over here. So why we are using this drop over here? Where I want to drop. It is used to drop, where we are using this drop, it is used to drop the column in a table. I want to drop that particular column. So where we are using this drop command over here. So how we are using this is that alter table name, drop column name, column and the column name over here. So what are the columns you are going to drop? So for a single column, this is the syntax for a single column. If you want to drop for the multiple columns, you are extending your syntax over here. So under the parenthesis, it is the column 1, column 2 and n number of columns according to your requirement. So obviously what happens, your table, the columns will be dropped here. So you can just observe here. So we will drop the columns, whatever we created. We created address column 9, we created. Next, we created these columns, right? So alter table